Hi everyone, Devin Austin here from your Emerging Technology team, here to look at another exciting learning accelerator. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to explore Search Progress and Search Coach in order to learn a little bit more. So let's dive right in. Hello everyone. We're going to look first at Search Progress today, and we're going to look at it in terms of, as a teacher, how do you use this specific tool? But we're also going to look at how does the student side of things look. So what you're going to do is you're going to go here to your Microsoft Teams. You're going to launch your Teams, and as a teacher, you're going to notice under classes, you're going to have your homeroom or your section or whatever that might look like. And this is where you're going to create your assignment. So I've created my assignment in Microsoft Learning Accelerators. So you're going to just, in order to follow along, create this in your own PowerSchool created classrooms. So I'm going to click on it here, and you're going to notice I'm going to be taken into the Teams class environment. You'll know it's a class if you see words like classwork or assignments. So what you're going to do is, as a teacher, you're going to go here to assignments and you're going to let it load. And what's going to happen is you're going to see all of your upcoming assignments, but you're also going to see create. So we can create a new assignment, a new quiz, or from existing. So if we've already created that, then we have the ability to reuse our assignments as a teacher. So I've posted here all about astronauts. So I'm going to go here just to more options and edit to show you the step-by-step process of what this would look like. So if I was to hit create, you'll notice I already have pre-populated my title and all of my instructions. So I did use my friend Microsoft Copilot in order to help me with these specific instructions. So I decided for this demo to look at all about astronauts, so that's my title. Things you're going to want to consider: laying out your instructions similar to this. Again, we want students to be able to become better researchers of information. So we want them to look, we want them to analyze, all of those different things in order to be able to, once they've picked all of their sources, to reflect. So on things like these questions at the end, you might want to get them to look at those specific things. Again, when they're actually done the assignment, they submit it to you as the teacher, and you get some really great feedback in this Insights tab right here in order to actually go and think about how they did with this assignment. We also have things like Microsoft Reflect. We can toggle this on and off if we are creating the assignment from beginning. Because I have it published, it won't let me. One other thing you're going to want to consider: all current and future students. So if you are in the middle of this assignment, you might want to put future students because you may get a new student. So you'll notice after I've populated all of those things, what I can do here is I can go down to Learning Accelerators and I can choose Search Progress. Okay, and by choosing Search Progress, this is going to populate the assignment in there for me. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to click on it and show you that environment next. So what it does is it creates the Search Coach environment. So Progress and Coach, they work simultaneously together in order to do this. So I can decide here under my right-hand side, I have a couple options. I can put sources, so the minimum number that students need to save, I can toggle that up or down. By default, it is 5. You can choose less, you can choose more. There's things like citations. So citations, we're looking at APA format. Not necessarily will you need to have citations for students, especially in elementary, junior high, maybe in high school, something you might consider, but that's why I have that guide toggled off. My explanation, so there is default questions that it already populates. I just used my Think Partner again, Microsoft Copilot, to help me come up with my explanation and my reflection. So explanation is requiring students to describe why they chose that source. So again, my question is just, why do you find this source valuable enough to save it? And then reflection is kind of at the end of the assignment. When you're thinking about all of the sources that have been selected, you may want the students to reflect on which searches were maybe most helpful or any other elements that they came across in order to have them think about why this helped them to become a better researcher or to look more in depth at sources. So again, we know the tale of they'll just search and whatever comes up first. We want them to critically analyze those sources in order to think about it. Now, even as the teacher, in this search coach environment here, I can do a couple of customization things for my students. So by clicking on Customize Search Coach, I can customize my background, but I can also do something called filters, which is really awesome. So what I can do is, I can look at my domains and I can decide where I want them to go. So maybe only specific sites. Maybe I'm looking for Canada, things like that. I could put a .ca domain here, and that way it would only take them to Canadian-based sources. My file type, so maybe I only want them to look at PDFs or different formats. Data range, I can again toggle all of these on or off. Data range, maybe I want them to search within certain parameters, or maybe I don't. Operators, this one's a little more complex by using words and or to make my search more specific, so I would leave that one on. And then you have some optional ones here. You have fact check, which is really cool. So again, there's some fact checking sites they have there, so I may want to turn that guy on. I can also create a list of sites that I might want them to be directed to. Again, you'll notice my nice little tip. Before assigning to students, select those filters. So I may want to make sure that that is done before, but these are all awesome little filters that I can do. And then I would just simply hit apply. And as the teacher, I do have the ability to click and see what it would look like as a student. You'll notice here, I have my assignment instructions again. This would populate, and I'll show this in the student view in a moment. And also then I have my space for sources. As I do sources, there, I can do things like fact checking, all of those different type of things, which is really awesome. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna jump into the student side, so that way you can see a little bit more about the student side of things. All right, I've now switched over to my Learning Accelerator student environment classroom. You'll notice as a student, I have my general channel in Teams, and then I'm able to go here to my view assignment and I can click on it. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna launch that assignment for me. So what you'll notice is I have all of my instructions that I'd showed you in the teacher portion. But what I would do as a student is go here to search progress and click on it. It's going to launch that search progress environment in order for me to do the assignment. I have the ability here to go and read all of my instructions in case I forget something I need to do. And then I have my student environment. So again, we're doing astronauts, so that's going to be my search parameter. Again, I can, as the student, customize the domain, the file type, all of those things myself to kind of narrow in on those different search parameters, which is really awesome. And another thing is it gives me a little bit of a tip here, words I might want to use for my search tip of the day. It consistently changes. Again, if I'm happy with that, I can click my little green arrow. It's going to bring up sources. Now, it's going to keep giving me search tips. It's going to keep coaching me throughout. So a couple things. When I'm in the student view, if I hit the plus, I can save this source. One thing that you do want to know and you want to make students aware is if I don't click into this specific source, again, it's going to open in another window outside of Teams, it's going to tell the teacher that, hey, I just went here, I clicked the plus without even going into it and saved it as a source. Again, it gives me when's the last time, where does this come from? So by adding it, you'll notice here, why did you find the source valuable? Okay, I'm going to be able to type this source was valuable because, and I can keep going and doing that as the student. I can also, if I'm outside of the environment, I can add my own sources by clicking the plus. I can enter the URL, how did I find this source, and then again, it still makes me reflect on why was this a good source, and I can click add. Now, let's just say these are all of my sources and I'm ready. I can go next. Again, it's going to say I did one search. Again, we can do multiple searches throughout the assignment. These are the sources I saved. It even tells me, well, how many links did I open? So maybe I want to go back to my assignment here, okay? And I can return to search if there's something I forgot to do. Now, I can at the end reflect, and then again, all of these awesome things will tell me if I forgot anything. Or if I want to second guess, I can also hit that and I can hit done. So now, if I'm done, I have the ability to turn this into my teacher and they're going to be able to see what kind of sources and searches that I did, which is really awesome. And then as the teacher, what I can do is, if I go back to my Learning Accelerator team here and I go into my view assignment, as the teacher, when I'm in here, what I can do is I'm going to be able to see all of the people's assignments, and I can click, and then as the teacher, I can go here and I can enter some form of feedback in order to let my students know, hey, this is what I did with sources, which is really awesome. Also, as the teachers, view insights, which is really, really awesome. I can hone in on specific assignments. Again, this has ones where kids have not done this, but I can go here to my specific assignment and I can choose, all about astronauts. Again, since no one's turned on and there's no progress, but I can look at my student list and I can kind of play around and I can be given things like the following, which is really, really awesome. So again, this presentation is tied to this, but I can be given things like critical evaluation with students. I can look at their data in the assignment in order to give that feedback, specifically targeting how do they become better searchers by simply clicking on all of these different elements as part of my assignment. So that's just a little overview of search progress for you. Feel free to reach out to your emerging technology team if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks for watching.